troubles in the world, I forget all I've got. I know you are there, God. Why can't I feel you near? My mind's
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Rockin for God with Lisa Marie Nicole. I am Lisa Marie Nicole. I'm a Christian, award-winning Christian recording artist, songwriter, and this is my podcast about music and faith. I have had guests on in the past, some really good guests I've had on, and I've had some great guests I'm going to have on in the future. And tonight is one of those guests I'm very excited to have on, Mike Aquilina. He is a Catholic author and a songwriter, among other things. But I'm going to have him tell you who he is, and we'll talk to him a little bit.
Hi,
Hi,
Lisa
Mike.
Marie.
How are
Hello.
you? It's nice to finally see you.
Well, it's good to see you too. It's good to see you too.
How's the weather up there?
Cold, very cold, and we got a lot of snow. So I've been
Yeah,
shoveling a lot.
yeah, I know. You were telling me that. Well, I'm in Florida, but I just want you to know that it's going to be 28 degrees tonight.
Oh my.
So I understand, but we're not going to have snow, which is a good thing.
Especially in quantity. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I'm from
Mhm.
Jersey originally, so I understand. I remember how bad it was up there with the ice and the snow and everything. It was terrible. So I
Yeah.
remember that. Um, but for those listening, can you please tell us who you are and just a little bit about yourself?
Hmm. I'm Mike Aquilina, as she said. I'm a writer. I've been in the publishing business doing writing for about 40 years, a little over 40
Wow.
years, and I'm a dad and I'm a grandfather. I don't know what else to say.
You're a dad and a grandfather. Well,
Yeah,
you're a
yeah.
lot more than that. um, I know, are you a cradle Catholic or are you a convert? You're Catholic, right?
I am. I am. I'm a cradle Catholic. I haven't always been enthusiastic about it. I went through a phase where I really wasn't going to church, and I really didn't care too much about it. But I eventually came back, um, and yeah, I've been Catholic except for that hiatus. I guess I was Catholic during the hiatus too, but I
Yeah.
just wasn't a very good one.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have done that in their life. A lot of people have either stopped going to church or just, you know, I think life caught up with everyone.
Hmm.
And I know that happened to me also. And but I got a calling to come back, and I'm sure you have also. And what do you enjoy most about the faith? What brought you back?
Boy, that's a huge question.
Sorry.
I don't know. It's coherent. You know, it all hangs together. It's a good explanation of why we here and what we're living for.
Hmm.
It's a good guide to life morally, and it tends to make for a happy life if you follow it and if you give yourself to it. I'm a history buff. I
Yep.
love the history, and it's it's studying the history that kind of drove me deeper into the faith. I also love the arts, and we kind of rock and we rule in those areas as well. You know, in the development of music as we know it in the West, the church was hugely influential. Same thing with
Yes.
the development of art. We invented the university, we invented the hospital, a lot of other good things that do a lot of good in our world.
Yeah. That's great. I understand that completely. Um, you're also I know you're also a songwriter.
Mm.
And can you explain a little bit about the process of songwriting? I know we'll talk about Dion later, but explain a little bit about, like, I'm a songwriter too, so I understand. I know with me, usually things come to me. Like I like write a lot of things based on things that are happening in the world and on scripture. I base a lot of it on that, and a lot of it comes to me through the Holy Spirit. How do you get your? What is your process for songwriting?
Hmm. Well, it's hard for me to separate it from the person of Dion. He's an old
Yeah,
friend of
I
mine,
know.
and he's really the only person I've ever been songwriting with. He and I have done 5 albums together. 3 of them are double albums, so it's a whole lot of music. I think we have 70 some songs registered on ASCAP. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, that's a lot of music. But I never would have considered myself a songwriter before that. I played in a garage band when I was in high school. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
and every now and then my friends and I would write songs making fun of our teachers and that kind of thing in high school. So I have limited experience songwriting. But Dion and I, as I said, are close friends, and once many years ago, he called me and he said into my answering machine because I wasn't home. He said to my answering machine, "I read it in the Rolling Stone. I read it in the Rolling Stone." He said, "I want to sing that song, and you're going to write that song." So I
Wow.
could see what he was doing. He was daring me to
Yeah.
write a song. He was kind of throwing down the gloves. So I figured, okay, I'll take the dare. I know Italians. I know what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
And so I wrote that song. And at the time, he was working on an album of covers, and because his songwriting partner was in poor health, and he was kind of fading out. So Dion said he was going to stop doing original music because he didn't want to start over again after
Yeah.
working with this guy for 40 years, 30 years. I don't know. It was a long time, and so he didn't want to start over again. But he kind of threw down the glove. He dared me, and I wrote a song called "I Read It in the Rolling Stone," uh, and sent it off to him. He said, "This is great. This is great. I love this." He said, "This is going to be the single from my new album." So he said, "I want you to try something else. Just try something else. I've always wanted to do a song about Robert Johnson, write a song about Robert Johnson." So I wrote a song about Robert Johnson, and I sent it off to him, and he ended up doing an album of originals instead of an album of covers. So that was Tank Full of Blues. This one, there
Hmm.
we go, getting a lot of reflection on it there, but you can see it. And I think that one came out in 2011. I think so.
And you
So
guys also have girlfriends. Did you write that with him?
oh, that's coming out in March.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the new one. Yeah, we can
yeah.
talk about that later.
So that's
At
our
the
fifth
end.
album together. Yeah. So we
Yeah,
yeah. So we had a good time doing Tank Full of Blues, and we just kept on doing it. So we're always poking around, working on something.
that's great. Do you guys like? Does he come up with the ideas first, or do you? Will you come up together? Like, how does that work with you guys?
We've done it every which way. I can remember one time I was I went up to visit my sister in northeastern Pennsylvania. It's about 5 hour drive, and
Hmm.
on the way back, I just got a song in its entirety.
Hmm.
So I'm holding my phone, I'm singing it into my phone while I'm driving down the
Yep.
interstate, and when I got home, I typed up the lyrics and I sent it off to Dion, and that song ended up on the new album Girlfriends, which is coming out in dribs and drabs right now. We've had a few singles, and we got another song coming out on the 8th, I believe.
Yeah, I was looking up a lot of his stuff. I mean, you guys have some great stuff out there, and
Yeah.
he's incredible at his age. How he's so unbelievable. I think, like you said, I think it's us Italians, right? I think we just keep going. We don't let anything stop us.
Well, he's got good energy, good health. He's
Oh
been
yeah,
working out every day since he was 5 years old, I think. He and his dad used to make sets of weights. They used to get the big tomato cans and fill them with
oh yeah.
concrete, and that's how they would make the weights that they lifted every day. And
Wow.
and and so he's a rock. He's a great guy.
How long have
But
you known him?
I've known him since around the turn of the century. So
Wow.
20 some years now, I think. But we were taught we talk on the phone a lot. We wrote a book together. We've done these 5 albums together, and I visit when I'm in the area. My brother lives lives near Dion, so I get down to see him. I see him sometimes when he's at his apartment in New York, in Manhattan. So you asked about our process, and really we've done it every which way. That song that I mentioned, which was "Stop, Drop, and Roll,"
Yeah.
on the new album. That one came to me that way. But a lot of times he'll do what he did that first time. He'll call and he'll leave a message and he'll say, "I want to use the phrase soul force in a song." He did that on another song on
And he
Girlfriends. I
did.
want to use that phrase right around that phrase. So I come up with the song, uh, and it's called Soul Force, and he puts it together. Usually when I put it together, sometimes I'll have a melody in line, but in mind, but he's really a genius of melody, and he usually comes up with something a
Yeah.
lot better.
Yeah, well, he was with Dion and the Belmonts for how many years? I mean, right?
Yeah,
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 he's
yeah. I mean, he had his first. He charted for the first time in 1957,
yeah.
so it's a long time ago, and
I wasn't
and
around.
neither was I. But I
No.
grew up with his music because
Yep.
I'm the youngest of seven kids, and so
Wow.
my siblings all were big Dion fans. So I grew up with his music, and it was a thrill to meet him when I met him. And man, it's a bigger thrill to write with him.
Yeah, I can't even
Yeah,
imagine that. That's amazing. Um, I know you play the piano.
a little
Are
bit. I
you,
play with the piano.
are you a musician of any sort? Have you sang? I mean, like, have you tried to play any other instruments?
No, I don't sing well. No, I've stuck with the piano. That's what I played in high school, and I still play around with it today. And so sometimes I'll play around when I'm playing around with a melodic idea. I'll send it
Mhm.
to him in a piano file. So
Oh, really?
yeah, a
And
sound file from the piano.
what else does he play besides the guitar? He plays a lot of different things, doesn't he?
He'll play the bass sometimes on our recordings,
Yeah.
but he sticks to the guitar pretty much.
Yeah, well, he's good at it too.
He sure
I wish
is.
I could play like that. That's
He sure is.
amazing.
He's studied under some of the greats. So
Yes, he did. I know, and the people uh, have singing on his tracks with him is amazing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
We've
playing and everything.
yeah we've had some. It's kind of a thrill. I mean, I spent a lot of my time as a kid listening to Van Morrison and Jeff Beck, and especially Paul Simon. I'm a big Paul Simon fan,
Yeah.
and so to have these guys singing on songs I wrote, that's been kind of a thrill.
So that's like it's probably, how do you, like, you probably feel like, how do you feel like writing with him? Like, how did you feel at the beginning when he asked you? You must have been
Oh,
like, yeah, like, how did you feel about that?
in the beginning, I thought it was really, really cool. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was just the machismo thing. It's responding because he dared me to, and
Yeah.
I'm going to show him. And I do it that way. So it was kind of a thrill because I could feel it. I knew that I was coming through on
Hmm.
this dare that my friend threw before me. But the other thing is, every now and then I'll just get a sense of what I'm doing, and I'm thinking this is Dion. He's in the one of the early inductees of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and
Yep.
he had these 12 gold records. He was racking up gold records before I was born. He was dominating the airwaves when I was 5 years old with Abraham, Martin, and John. This is an amazing man in the history of rock and roll, and you can see just in when we've worked with others on the albums, like people like Bruce Springsteen and Paul
Yeah.
Simon. You can see that they think the world of him, that they have a lot of admiration for him, that they're fans.
Hmm. That's great. And I guess you guys have no implication of stopping anytime soon. Probably going to cover a whole bunch of other albums out after this, right?
We'll go as long as we can.
That's right. Um, I'm going to get Now. I'm going to get back to you. What age did you start writing? When did you start writing, or you knew you wanted to be a writer?
I don't know. I think when I was little, I started reading early, and so I started writing early too. And I think my mother thought that I had a gift for it. She was the first one. She used to take these little poems that I wrote and send them off to children's magazines like Highlights and Jack
Yeah.
and Jill and all of these other
Uh-huh.
things, and every now and then they'd get published. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I don't know, I didn't think much about it when I was in grade school or high school. I thought it's something I could do pretty well. And when I got to college, I really didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea, and I was coming up to the limit. They would let you stay at Penn State without declaring a major, and I didn't have any clear idea of what I was going to major in, and I ended up quite by accident getting an internship, a writing internship
Wow.
for a small publishing house, and I did that, and I stayed at the publishing house after my internship was up, they promoted me, and then during my senior year in college, they promoted me again to the position of editorial director. So I was going to school full
Wow.
time, I was working full time. It was crazy, but by then I knew that this is probably what I'm going to end up doing because it's something I can do and make money.
And you enjoy doing it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My big concern, I knew I was going to be getting married soon, and I wanted to be able to put food on the table, and
Yeah,
so
exactly.
yeah, so it was a good way to move forward in life.
And I always say, enjoy what you do.
Hmm.
A lot of people are miserable in their jobs,
Yeah,
and a lot
yeah.
of, it's if you really enjoy it and you're doing well at it, then
Hmm.
why not?
Yeah.
We're all blessed with something. Um, I'm gonna play your song, Angels in the Alleyway, the one that you guys did together,
Hmm.
so everybody could hear this, and then when we come back, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Okay?
Listen for Bruce Springsteen's guitar
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard this song
and
many
his
times.
harmonica. He plays
Yep,
harmonica on it too.
I hear it. All right. This is Dion and Mike Aquilina's song "Angels in the Alleyway."
Angels all around, angels all around, angels all around. Do you walk the streets at night? Try to stay beneath the light. Do you sense it as you go? Maybe you are not alone. An angel walks, an angel prays. Hey, by your side at night, unseen in the alleyway. Who guides a hand that comes to play like B.B. King and Stevie Ray? Who takes the pain we didn't choose, turns it into Chicago blues? An angel walks, an angel prays, by your side at night and through the alleyway. A junkie cries and no one hears. A spirit flies to dry his tears. The bottle owns another man.
That's a great song. I love the harmonica. My husband plays the harmonica. I love the harmonica. I love the bluesy feel to it. So, what's the story behind this song?
Well, the origin of the song was pretty simple. I mean, Dion had the Dion often sends me a file that just has nonsense lyrics. You know, he's just singing syllables or random words or whatever,
Yeah,
just because he just wants me to get the melody. Uh, I always think that there are no accidents, and I will write down his random words, and there's a reason for that because he's comfortable singing those words, and I'll try to impose a sense on the nonsense sometimes. Um, with that particular song, he sent me the file, and it was just him and his guitar, and just playing just the way you hear it there. He's just
yeah,
playing that riff over and over again, and he's singing the song with it very passionately. And and he had the chorus intact. An angel walks, an angel prays by your side
yeah,
down through the alleyways. Um, and that was already in the song. It was baked into the song. I said I can make this a song about the guardian angels,
yeah.
and so I kept the chorus that he was just using for filler, and we made it a song about the guardian angels, and he was great with that. You know, we both have a real devotion to the guardian angels, and we're both pretty certain that we're alive right now because of them. So we did that, and he wanted Patty Scalfa to sing it, and you know she's Bruce Springsteen's wife, and she's got a master's in composition and arrangement. She's so good. So we sent her the just the demo, and she put together that amazing vocal arrangement. I don't know how many singers she had there. Maybe she's just multi-tracking a couple people, but she's such a great singer herself.
Yeah,
And
she
you know,
is.
she brought in these other singers that she thought would be as great, and they sound like a gospel choir.
Yeah.
I thought her husband did a great job too.
How does that work with the other artists? Does he like know Bruce? Like, is he friends with him, or yeah? And so I guess they collaborate together. He asks them to do things on them, the track.
They've known each other for a long time, and and they've played together. And it's funny. Bruce Springsteen once said that he never knows how his songs are really supposed to sound until Dion covers them. Because Dion has done some great covers of Springsteen songs, and he's been
Yeah,
doing that since the '80s. Um, so so yeah, they go way back, and Bruce contributed the tremolo guitar there that you hear, and
yeah,
he also played the harmonica. Uh, so I thought it was great when I heard it, you know, especially because they put so much effort into it. I mean, Patty, I can't imagine how much work she put into arranging those vocals for the whole song. It's stunning.
yeah. They did a great job. It was a great. The first time I heard it, as soon as it's kicked in with the harmonica and I mean, just I love the blues,
Yeah.
and I just as soon as I heard that, it was great. I
Oh,
loved
yeah.
it.
So Dion played that live on his last tour, and he just did it all by himself, you know, as a spotlight song with
Hmm.
him sitting on his bench, you know, on his stool, you know, and the band got a break, you know, they could go and have a cup of coffee or something, but he did it all by himself, and it was beautiful. He got great ovations when he did it.
Oh, I'm sure he must have. Yeah. Well, that's great. I'm so happy for both of you because it's great what you guys are doing. And
We're having a good
y-
time.
yeah, me too. This music is great. You
It
know,
is.
it's really it makes everybody happy, and it's
Mhm.
just great. I love doing it also. Can you tell me who inspires you in your everyday life to do what you do?
My wife. I've been working from home since 1996, and so that's how many years now? This is 28 years I've been doing this. So I really don't see too many other people. So and it's a good thing that she's so inspirational because she really does inspire me to do the
That's
things I
great.
do for the very practical reason that you know she said that I'm working for her. You know, and I'm trying to support the family but not only that she's someone who's my sounding board. You know, I work my ideas out loud at the table, and she lets me know what she thinks. She's my best editor, my best proofreader. Uh, so uh, so yeah, I'd have to say it's my wife.
How long have you guys been married?
Since 1985, so that's 38 years,
You got me.
coming up on 39.
Yeah, I'm coming up February 2nd. It'll be 32 years.
Well, that's great.
So yeah, it's a blessing to get past a year, right? Right to this world
It
today,
is.
right?
It really is.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of work, but it's, if you love each other, and I always say if God is in your marriage, and it's always going to work out.
I think that's the case.
And so let's talk about, I was reading this online and I was looking into it. You want to talk about your new venture you have, the College of St. Joseph the Worker?
I'm just on the advisory board for that, but I really
Okay.
believe in what they're doing. It's an institution in
Hmm.
Steubenville, Ohio, that grants uh, apprenticeships and certifications in various trades at the same time that you can earn a bachelor's degree. And so you finish up in 5 years, I think. You have a bachelor's degree, you have all of your certifications
Wow.
for doing whatever kind of trade you want to do, whether it's plumbing or um, or uh, or carpentry or electrical work or whatever.
Wow.
They're offering these programs, and it's also designed so that their students graduate with no debt. So
That's great.
hey, this answers so many needs all at once.
Hmm.
First of all, the need for more Americans in the trades, learning how to do these things and working for them, and it provides an opportunity for people who really don't want an academic career. They don't want to work in an office. They'd much rather be working with their hands,
Hmm.
and that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. We've been pressuring people to do the academic thing for so long, and this is another way that people can go and contribute something wonderful to society. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. They're having a special event later on this week, so I'll be back over there.
Well, everything that you mentioned, these are the backbone of America. These people are what builds America.
Yeah, right. And I want to be able to get a good electrician, a good carpenter I can trust, for the work that I
Yes,
do.
that's true.
And I know that character formation and Catholic formation will be an important part of the curriculum.
That's great. That's really, so it's a Catholic college, basically,
It is
right?
St.
Yeah.
Joseph the Worker, right?
Yep. St. Joseph the Worker. That's right. And how did you get involved with this? Did they ask you to be on the advisory board, or you knew the people that were?
I knew almost all the people who were involved in the founding of it. A couple of them were close friends of mine, and so they ran some ideas by me early on. We went out for lunch and just talked about it, and then I helped them. I can't say I helped them with the trades at all because I'm not a handy man. But I helped them by speaking at their events early on when they were trying to introduce the idea of the school to the public. So it's had a great response so far. It's been covered on Fox News and a number of publications.
Wow,
So
that's great. That's great.
I love the
Um,
idea.
yeah, I loved it. As soon as I read that you
Mhm.
put that out there, I right away I said it's gonna be big. I really think that you're gonna have a lot of people join that and learn about the faith at the same time, which
Yeah.
is wonderful.
Yep.
Um, I'm gonna play one of my songs real quick. This song I'm gonna play is called "Mama, I Love You." This is
Okay.
a song I wrote for my mom, but it's dedicated to all mothers. Every mother in the world, this is dedicated to. And
Wonderful.
so this is one of my new songs. I just released this recently. So if people haven't heard it, this is my song.
gave me life many years ago. Through that journey, God saved my soul. You were there through my growing years. You used your hand to wipe my tears. Doctor, therapist, you gave it all. The first one to answer my call any time of day. Mama, you took me by the hand, taught me how to love God, and helped me to understand when life was too hard to comprehend. You're always there when I needed a friend. You're the only one that understands my pain. Oh, Mama, I love you. Now that I'm older, my youth is gone. The strength of your love helps me carry on. Life is not easy, it's hard to the end. With you by my side, I'll always have a friend. Mama, you took me by the hand, taught me how to love God, and helped me to understand when life was too hard to comprehend. You always there when I needed a friend. You're the only one that understands my pain. Oh, Mama, I love you. Mama, you're my biggest fan. I wrote this song so you hear it now. While you still can hold my hand, I thank you for all you do. I know the great Lord has blessed me through my life with a mom and friend. Mama, you took me by the hand. You taught me how to love God and helped me to understand when life was too hard to comprehend. You never left when I needed a friend. You're the only one that understands my pain. Oh, Mama, I love you. Oh, Mama, I love you. God blessed me with you, my Mama. Oh, Mama.
56.
Oh, that's great. You're touching on something universal there, at least
Yeah.
almost universal, you know?
Well, it's the end. I did two endings. The one ending I did was in Italian for my mother. So
Oh,
I figured,
nice.
yeah, so I figured all Italian moms, especially boys, love their mommy.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
especially Italian boys. So I figured that would be great for maybe your weddings or something, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That would
Yeah,
be good if somebody wants to play it and sing with their mother at the dance with their mom at the wedding. So, you know, but that was for her, but it's also for everybody else,
yeah.
moms out there.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And well, you want to talk about your books? You have St. Patrick and His World,
Yeah,
the
just
new one.
it's coming out in time for St. Patrick's Day, and and it's a book that tries to get beyond the legends, the shamrocks and the green beer and all that stuff, and to get to what we actually do know about St. Patrick, and that's what we find in the two documents that bear his name, the two documents that we know he wrote, because they've been around since his lifetime. But one is his letter to the soldiers of Coroticus, and the other one is his confessions. So um, I look at those in the context of their times. I try to explain what was happening in the world at that time. As the Roman Empire declined and they weren't able to police things, there arose pirates, combing the coasts and kidnapping people, and that was a big part of Patrick's life. He eventually got kidnapped by pirates, and when he escaped his slavery in Ireland, he got kidnapped again by pirates. So it was a big part of his life, and it was pretty big in his development. So yeah, that book should be coming out right around St. Patrick's Day, and I hope people enjoy it.
Well, that's why you're a historian, because I did not know that about him.
Mhm. No.
And like you said, everybody thinks about St. Patrick. They always think about St. Patty's Day and shamrocks and everything else, but to know who he really was. I mean, that's interesting. I'm really going to get that book. I'd like to. Um, do you have a release date for that? Do you know when it's going to be out? Around
Probably,
St.
I think it's
Patty's?
I think it's going to
Right.
be 1 week before St. Patrick's Day. So what that would be, count back from the 17th. That would be the 10th, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
March 10th.
Um, and then you have Faith of Our Fathers,
I do,
and that was also a podcast that you
Uh,
had.
yeah, my podcast was called The Way of the Fathers,
The Way of the
and
Fathers.
I
Yep.
did that for 99 episodes,
Yep.
and at that point, I handed it off to my good friend Jim Papandrea, who's doing a great job with it now, and
Yeah,
it's
I
a
know
lot.
Jim.
You know Jim? Oh,
Yeah, I'm
that's
friends
great.
with him on Facebook. I talked to him a
Oh,
couple of
okay.
times. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy. So Jim's taking it in a good direction. I can relax a little bit on that now. I got it started, and I hope it'll keep going for a long time.
That's great. That's great when you can hand it off to somebody like that.
Absolutely.
And I also know that you did many years ago. You did the EWTN specials with Scott Hahn.
That's right. We did 11 series. Each series was 13 weeks. So that was a lot of shows, and I think they're all still in rotation as
Yeah.
reruns. And so sometimes they'll be running two at a time, and one will be from 1999, and the other one will be from 2012. And my sister will call me and say, you look a lot younger in the morning than you
You're like
look in the
consistency.
evening. Right? I guess I'm a morning person. So
Well,
yeah, those have been running a long time.
well, just so you know, Hail Holy Queen and the Lamb's Supper, we used them at our Bible study class
Oh,
that we
great.
had.
They're great
And
books.
oh yeah, well, we did the DVDs.
Oh,
So
oh,
you
okay.
you were actually in them. So yes, I know.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
many years ago.
yeah. My beard was a lot darker then.
Yeah, I think everybody's was a lot darker. Yeah, it's so do you have any plans on doing with any other scholars? Do you have any plans on doing anything else in the future?
Well, I'm still working on a couple of books. I have two books that I finished up, and they should be out sometime this year. One is a devotional made up of writings of the fathers of the church for the feast days of the church's calendar,
Oh,
uh,
great.
and the other one is kind of a history of 12 ancient cities and how they became Christian, and how becoming Christian changed them, and how it perfected the qualities that were already there. So that book's coming out from Ignatius Press, and it'll be out sometime in the coming year.
What's it called?
That one, I'm trying to remember what the title we finally settled on. Um, and I mean, when I first wrote it, it had a title of something like 12 Cities. But I think it ended up with something much more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember the title right now.
Well, I'll, I'll post your links and everything,
Oh,
so
thank you.
that way people know how to find you. And
Yeah.
are all your books released through Ignatius Press, or you?
No, I'm with a lot of different publishers. I guess most of
Okay.
my books have come out with from Emmaus Road Press
Yeah. Okay.
and Our Sunday Visitor. Those two
Okay.
publishers.
Yeah. So people could probably just Google your name and
Oh yeah,
they'll come up there. I did. I saw all your books and everything. Look at everything behind
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. My CatholicBooksDirect.com,
All right.
CatholicBooksDirect.com
Let me write
keeps.
that down.
Yeah, that's the best place to find my books. You'll usually get them at the best prices there. And they had, if you just search on my name,
Uh
you'll get
huh.
a page full of my books, many of them. So,
Okay.
so you
Catholic
can
Books
see
Direct.
everything I've written, and I
And you got.
even the book I wrote with Dion is there. So,
Is it really?
yeah,
So you guys write together also?
yeah, we did one book together, and I hope someday to do another one with him.
That's amazing. You guys are amazing. That's a big inspiration. So you're
Thank
from
you.
Pennsylvania. You from there originally?
I am. I grew up in the Scranton Wilkes-Barre area, right
Okay.
between the two cities, actually, in a little coal town there, Pittston, Pennsylvania, and I got a Catholic schooling there. The neighborhood I lived in was kind of a little Sicilian enclave. We had our own church. We had our own corpse house. We called it. We had
Wow.
our own bar, my grandfather's bar, and all the other things. Our own little grocery store and everything. So it was like a little bit of Sicily in northeastern Pennsylvania.
I guess you're Sicilian, huh?
Yeah, 100%. So that means I'm 100% everything because everybody
Basically,
owns Sicily for a week.
that's true. Yeah, my family's from Naples and
Mm.
Rome. We found out recently, so I have a mixture also. But Jersey. I grew up in Jersey. It's a big Italian area. Jersey
Yeah.
City is a big Italian area, so I understand. And we have family in Pennsylvania right now. Um, what part of? So your family's from Sicily, you said.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Italian food?
Well, I love my mother's gnocchi. Nobody else has been able to match it.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. So my mother's gnocchi it was my favorite. She also made these little things. I don't know quite how to pronounce it, but in the Sicilian dialect, it's spelled Mbrugliate, brugliate. So
Brigliate.
yeah, so yeah, she made those things, and they were really good. So, but my sisters learned how to make them long before my mother passed, and they've been perfecting them, through the years now.
Yeah, yeah, I know my mom made stuff that when you're Italian, especially, you carry on the tradition. My grandmother
Right?
made homemade pasta, and she
Um,
used to leave it on her bed. Remember that? You remember Italian? The people that aren't Italian don't know that.
no, no. In my when we used to go up to visit my mother, she used to have us bring a cooler up because she was used to cooking for 7 kids, and when we all left the house, she had this big standalone freezer that she bought, and she'd just cook all the time and then freeze it. And she'd insist that you bring the cooler. And shortly after we got married, my wife said, I feel like a leech doing this. We better not. We let's just leave it home this time. Well, we arrived with no cooler, and my mother was insulted. you know, so she actually went out and bought a cooler so that we could go back with a cooler full of food. That's
Wow, is your
that's
wife
what she lived
Italian?
for.
Your wife's Italian
No,
too?
she's not. No,
She's
she's
not.
not. She's Pennsylvania Dutch.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Hmm.
that's interesting. That's cool. Yeah, my husband's Irish, Polish, so I'm Italian, so
Yeah.
all mixtures.
Yep. Yeah. That's what America
So
makes possible.
that's right. So what plans do you have for the year? You have a pilgrimage to Rome, Italy coming up in November, right?
I do. I do. I have
Yeah.
one that in November that I'm I'm doing, and then I have another one in October. So with two different groups, I'm doing it. uh, and they should be fun. I love taking groups over, and people usually respond very well. It's a profound experience.
Oh, I can imagine. I
seeing
would love to
seeing
hear it.
Rome. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, just it's so important in the faith. It's so it figures so strongly in the scriptures of the New Testament, and it's just a great experience to be there. And I've never had a bad meal in Rome.
I can't imagine. No. Do you have a favorite place you go to there? Like
It,
restaurant?
yeah. I love There's a pizzeria on in Trastevere, and it's called Dar Poeta, the poet's place,
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say that.
it's a great pizzeria. I love it.
That's great. How? What are the dates? Do you have the dates yet?
I don't
November.
have them handy. No, I don't
Okay.
have them handy. But you can find out about the one tour at Verso Tours, and the other one is with 206 Tours. So Verso Tours and then 206 Tours are the two different groups that I'm taking in October and November.
So it's different times you're going, right? Is
Yeah,
it a
yeah,
different time frame?
yep.
So what do you go for? Like 2 weeks,
I go for I think they're both of them are 10-day tours.
10 days? All right, 10 days Eastern. Okay. And yeah, because then what I'll do is I'll post this up here if anybody's
Thank
interested,
you.
or if they contact me about any of this, I'll let them know. Um, so you guys have Dion's got the new one coming out, Girlfriends, right?
Yeah,
You guys have that coming out, Soul
yeah, we
Force,
do. Soul Force is was the second single that came out,
and
and that was with Susan Tedeschi
yeah, that's
playing
the one.
guitar. She's wonderful.
Well, I
So
really love American Hero. That's a great song. Did you
thank you.
write that with him?
I did. I
Wow,
did. We
that's a
wrote that
great. The
together,
lyrics are great. That's a great song.
and that's with Carlene Carter.
Yeah.
So we had a good time. We had a good time doing that, and she did a wonderful job with it. So yeah, both of them, and we have the whole concept behind Girlfriends was Dion does duets with either women who are guitarists or women
Yeah.
who are singers, and sometimes women who are both. So it's a different kind of album. It has a different vibe from his other recent albums, and it's been a lot of fun so far. There's been great response to our first two singles.
Well, tell Dion that I'm available also.
All right, I'll give him your card. Um, we've got a big thing coming up in the fall. I can't give away too many details on it, but the play based on Dion's life, which is called The Wanderer,
Wow.
had a sold out run at Paper Mill Playhouse in New Jersey, and Paper
Yeah.
Mill is the place where A Bronx Tale got
Hmm.
started. It's the place where Newsies got its start before going on to Broadway, and it looks like we're going to be on Broadway this fall. We'll have the play opening in September
Oh,
there.
that's great. Good luck
So
to you guys. That's great.
yeah, it's a jukebox musical. It's most of his hits, kind of strung together to tell the story of his life, and they do lend themselves to that. And and Dion and I together contributed two new songs to it, which are the spotlight songs for the female lead and the spotlight song for his drug dealer. so so those two songs we worked on together.
That's funny. Does he ever perform his older music that he
Oh
did?
yeah,
He does?
yeah. When he performs, he understands that that's what people go there to see. That they go there for nostalgia, and they want to hear "The Wanderer," "Run Around Sue," "Teenager in Love," "I Wonder Why," "Ruby Baby," and "Abraham Martin and John."
Yeah. Which
Those
is
are the songs they want to hear.
and Abraham Martin and John is a lot of people's favorites. I know
Oh yeah.
John from the Four Persons. He's been comment. You can't read these comments, can you?
No.
Yeah. When you go back, you'll be able to see the comments.
Oh,
I've been
thank you.
just answering people. If anybody has any questions for Mike before the show's over, you can ask them in the comments, and I'll ask him if anybody. Because I know John from the Four Persons said that was his favorite song, Abraham Martin and John. That's a good song.
It's a beautiful song. Yeah, and I've actually never seen a Broadway show. So the first Broadway show will be
Really?
one I contributed to. Yeah. So
Wow.
I'm hoping to meet a lot of people there at the theater when we're there, The other thing is Dion is giving a lecture at Fordham University in his old neighborhood in the
Oh,
Bronx.
wow.
So Fordham University on April 22nd. I think it's at 5 p.m. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that one too. It's open. The lecture, and I believe it's free. So I'm looking forward to heading to New York for that as well.
That's great. So you have no more plans for yourself then, except for what you talked about, right? Are you planning on writing on any more books? Are you working on any more books?
Yeah, I'm always working on stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
you're always writing, right?
yeah. So I have a couple things that I'm working on, and that takes me forward. I do a lot of speaking, so I'm always jetting around as well. So I'm in Arkansas this week. Coming up, I was in Tampa, Florida last week. So
By
got a lot
me.
of travel. Yeah. Oh, is that close to you?
No, well, Tampa's about. I'm north. I'm in Central Florida. I'm on the Gulf, so I'm about. I guess about an hour and 10 minutes. I'm not that far. I'm further from Orlando,
Okay.
but I'm on the West Coast, so I'm by Tampa.
Okay.
Um, all right, I got Shadow. She wants to know which of your creations are you the most proud of?
My children. They're living good lives. All of those. So I love my books. I love the songs that I wrote with Dion. Um, I'd say that if I had to pick one thing, it would be if I can pull it off the bookshelf, that would be good. I'm having a hard time with that. It's quite stuck. My bookshelves are
Well, you have so
overstuffed.
many of
I
them.
know, I know, and that's how I get them to fit is by stuffing them in there. But this one is my favorite because this is really mostly it's the invention of zero,
Okay.
and it's a collection of my poems, and most of them are love poems to my wife. So that's the one I'm most pleased with.
Oh, that's
I'm
nice.
crazy in love with my wife. We've been married as all those years, as I said, but that collection kind of is an expression of my love.
That's so nice to hear that. That's great. I guess she's gonna have a good Valentine's Day.
I hope
Uh,
so. It's Ash Wednesday this year.
I know. It's Ash Wednesday, but that's okay. You know where we're gonna be, right? After
Right.
moving our ashes, then we could celebrate with chocolate and candy. And um, she also wants to know where is your favorite place to write?
Uh, my favorite place to write is on the couch downstairs, not in my office. The couch is a lot more comfortable, and the light is better in my living room. So now that we're pretty much empty nesting, it's just a lot quieter and it's comfortable down there, and that's where I do most of my writing.
Your kid, how many kids do you have?
6, but they're all grown
Six.
up now. Yeah,
Wow, you
yeah.
really Italian family.
Well,
Wow.
as I said, I'm the seventh,
Yeah, that's what I
so
said. You said you were
I never
seven and
got
you're
that
six.
far.
Yeah. Are you they're all grown up and moved out now?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. I'm sure you still see them, right?
Oh
Huh?
yeah, we were all together at Christmas. It was a great time.
That's great. But anybody have any other questions before we close this out? Well, I usually the way I do my shows is I usually do a prayer. It's a music prayer I do at the end of my shows. And I just want to say, Lord, thank you for your gift of music, a universal language that transcends barriers. Help us to use it to glorify your name, to find solace during times of distress, and to celebrate your goodness in times of joy. May our hearts always be instruments playing the melody of your love and faithfulness. Amen.
Amen.
And I want to thank you so much, Mike. I've been really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I have too.
And I'm sorry last time didn't work out
Yeah.
because of the snowstorm, but we
Yeah.
can't, nothing we
Yes.
can do about the weather, right?
I got stuck. I'm
I
very
know.
sorry.
Um, do you have anything oh, all right. I have one more question. Do you
Yeah.
have anything you do before writing?
Oh wow. I'm always writing. That's kind
Oh,
of the
you
thing.
do anything?
It's always going on in my head. I'm driving and I'm
Right.
writing at the time. Because I'm always in the middle of of a few projects, and I'm always thinking about them. So is there anything I do before writing? Just about everything I do, I'm doing before writing, during writing, and after writing.
I actually understand that because
Yeah,
as a songwriter myself, and I'm also a poet, so
yeah, yeah,
you're always, your head's always spinning. Like I always got things in my head all the time, and so I understand what you're saying.
yeah.
But it's great. I think writing is such a blessing. It's a great talent to have, no matter what type of writing it is, songwriting, writing the stories, novels, whatever. It's so much fun and it's great. And I really had a great time talking to you, and it's really nice to know you and to get to know you better. And who knows, maybe we'll have you on again sometime and you could talk about all your new endeavors.
Anytime, anytime. Thank you again for the invitation. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you so much, Mike. God bless you.
Take care.
Take care. Okay, guys, that was Mike Aquilina. I just want to say a few things before I go. I just want to thank everyone who watched the show. I hope you learned a lot about him. He's a great guy. I'm going to post on my Rockin' for God page and on here, I'm going to post the links where you can get his books if you're interested in how you can follow him. And and also when he does his tours that he's going to be doing coming up in November, I'm also going to post stuff for that also. I have some things coming up. I have posted my EP is going to be released on February 20th, and that is Windows of My Soul. The song that I played tonight, Mama, I Love You, that is going to be on that also. And I have another show coming up with another Mike, and he is Mike Chauncey on February 3rd, and he is a singer, songwriter, pastor, musician, and he's actually my musician. He works with me on my tracks. So that's going to be a great interview because it's going to be all about God and music and everything else. So I just want to thank you guys for watching my show tonight. And I hope you had a good time. And I guess I'll see you guys again. This is Lisa Marie Nicole, Rocket for God. And everybody have a blessed week. I'll see you next month.